In this video, I'm going to react to 21 things in the US that confuse foreigners. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now, this is going to be a really fun video just because it's a weird one. Like, one would assume that because the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, because we all share the same language, English obviously, you would assume that our cultures would be near identical. And in a lot of ways they are. You know, we kind of have this, the same sort of like work-life balance in most ways, I guess. We kind of eat the same kind of foods, but there are definite differences. Like one example, I remember when we were last in Florida, this was about, I think, 4 years ago, something like that. I remember like we were looking for a cash machine. We couldn't find one anywhere. And we had to end up asking someone, it was an American person. And we were like, guys, can you tell me where's the nearest cash point? Where's the nearest cash machine? And they were like, huh? And eventually it dawned on us that you guys call it an ATM. I have no, like, it was pretty funny. Like, we had to laugh about it in the end, but you know, little things like that. So like little names of things, you know, are different. Little ways that you do things might be different as well. But yeah, I think that's just the norm, I guess. Like when you're separated by thousands of miles, there are certain things that are going to catch on and stick within certain geographical points. So this one's going to be a fun one to react to. So let's go. This is going to be me reacting to 21 things in the US that confuse foreigners. Let's do it.
Well, you may have lived in the United States your whole life without realizing that something totally normal for you seems bizarre to people from other parts of the world. Who knew that munching on fried pickles in a highly air-conditioned room was so outlandish?
Huh?
Well,
do you guys do that?
Here are some other highly entertaining Americanisms I've gathered. Let's count it down from number 21. Sales tax is a guessing game.
Yeah, this is one thing that if I moved to America, it would take a long time for me to get used to this. Like, why isn't sales tax calculated within that geographical point and just added on to the price of the product so that you know exactly what you're going to pay? Like, because that way you know how much things are going to cost. But I guess.
When you go shopping in the US and see a price tag that says $14.88, don't expect to pay $14.88 at the register. Sales tax is not included in the price of an item. And since this tax can vary from state to state, figuring out your total can turn into the ultimate mental math challenge. In many European countries, the sales tax is already included in the price.
Yeah.
It's known as a value-added tax, or VAT. Number 20. We're total workaholics. A lot of Americans don't feel the need to take long vacations.
Really?
So they often let vacation and sick hours pile up without ever using them.
Wow.
Plus, most employers only give you 2 weeks out of the year.
2 weeks? Really? That can't be right. No way. Like most places here, you're getting 28 days. Or worst case scenario, worst case, 20 days. But that will exclude public holidays. What? 2 weeks?
But in a lot of other countries, like Brazil or Finland, workers are encouraged to take an average of 30 days of vacay. Wow, maybe I should take some time off. Or perhaps I'll just keep waiting. 19. It's not a party without red Solo cups. In the States, this red plastic cup is synonymous with "party on, dude." But other countries apparently don't recognize this cup to mean the same thing. People in the UK, for example, don't use red Solo cups at get-togethers. They have to go to a special website to purchase the cups for American-themed parties.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, the whole red cup phenomena is a really new thing over here. To be honest, you still don't really see them that often at parties, but I think they are starting to catch on.
Who knew? Number 18. Deep fried everything. Whether it's fried pickles or even fried Oreos, America has it all. Fried fish recipes first appeared in Spanish and Portuguese cookbooks as far back as the 1200s, and the Greeks were frying food in olive oil way back in the 5th century BCE. But as America does with many things, they've adopted a tradition from far-off lands and took it up a notch, or 5. 17. Get everything you need right at the pharmacy.
Really?
If you're not from the U.S., it may be puzzling to walk into a pharmacy and see aisles and aisles of over-the-counter meds, toys, makeup, clothes, and even groceries.
Really?
Unlike in other countries where pharmacies sell medicine and medical supplies exclusively, the ones in the U.S. are like small convenience stores where you can grab magazines, Tylenol, and a frozen pizza in one fell swoop.
So pharmacies sell food in America. That's interesting. I guess it would save you time from having to go to multiple stores. So there's no harm in it, really.
16. Fill her up. In America, if a restaurant doesn't offer free refills on fountain drinks, it's kind of strange. But in other countries, once you buy one beverage, that's it. France banned refills on sugary sodas back in 2017 in order to combat the current obesity epidemic. But in the US, the idea of free refills is still alive and well. 15. If you don't like it, return it. Whether it's an ugly sweater from grandma or a heinous pair of earrings from an ex, if you don't like it, you can just return it. In America, making returns at stores is pretty normal and super easy. I mean, the US even has a National Returns Day in January, conveniently held for you to return holiday gifts you weren't too thrilled about.
National Returns Day. I bet stores must hate that day, right? Because they're just going to give up a whole load of like revenue. Well, not give up, but like have to surrender. Oh man.
14. Tips for everyone. Cab drivers, servers, hairdressers, you gotta tip them.
Really?
Tips are acceptable for almost any service in the U.S. and sometimes consist of 25% of the bill.
25%? Oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot of money.
We haven't started tipping surgeons yet, but there are places in other parts of the world, such as Japan, that consider tipping incredibly rude, like in restaurants. When you travel to different countries, it's important to learn their tipping etiquette so that you don't offend anyone. 13. I'll take my coffee to go. With a Starbucks on every corner, it's very normal to see people toting around a coffee as they shop, commute to work, and whatever else at all times of the day. But in many parts of the world, coffee is meant to be sipped on while seated and enjoying the paper or chatting with friends. Tugging your coffee along with you throughout the day might be due to the fact that the cups are huge and take longer to drink. Who's got that kind of time to be sitting in a cafe for hours?
I think the UK is probably kind of in between there. You do see in the morning commutes people carrying cups of coffee, but mostly, you know, when I go to like a Starbucks or a Costa, most people are having it there. Like if it's after 9 o'clock, say, yeah, most people are having their coffee there, either with their laptop or like this guy reading a book. To be honest, I prefer to have my coffee there. I don't know why, it's just what I do.
Sounds like fun to me. Number 12. The land of ice-cold drinks. Now, speaking of drinks, if it's not a hot coffee or cocoa, then it's probably got ice in it. Tea, coffee, lemonade, soda, water. Americans like it on the rocks. If you go elsewhere in the world, odds are you'll be sipping your soda at room temperature, or maybe slightly refrigerated if you don't specifically ask for ice. Number 11. Keeping the AC on at all times. Americans must have an aversion to being hot. In many parts of Europe, people simply don't use air conditioning.
Yeah, ACs here in the UK are very rare. I mean, like, obviously every office block or office building will have air conditioning, but in residential homes, ACs are super rare. Honestly, I don't think... I couldn't tell you when I last went to someone's house and they had an air conditioner. Literally. Like, I couldn't tell you. in my whole life. Like, at least in the UK, they're just never used. But I guess the UK is mostly a cold country. So why would you have an AC in your house? You know, in the few summer weeks that we have, just get a fan.
As much as they do in the States. Here, it's expected to always have the AC blaring,
Wow.
and a lot of visitors find it pretty strange and quite chilly. But come on, it makes sense. If you're cold, you can layer up. If you're hot, all you can do is suffer and complain about it. Number 10. Looking at dollars is a snooze fest. I remember going to Europe for the first time and thinking their banknotes look like Monopoly money. And I guess a lot of countries have bills of different colors and sizes depending on the value, like Swedish krona and Russian rubles. But not in the US. It's all greenbacks, baby. Sure, 10s look a little yellowy, 50s are kind of pinkish, and Benjamins seem bluer than the others. But still, US dollars definitely aren't as fun and rainbowy as other currencies.
Yeah, our currency here is really, really colourful. Yeah, I like it. To be fair, I do like the American notes as well, especially like the 100, like that little blue face on it. Looks pretty cool.
Number 9. Giving a thumbs up. In America, even little kids know a thumbs up means good job, way to go, or anything positive like that. But if you travel to Greece or the Middle East and give this common American gesture, you probably won't make too many friends. Hey, how about giving this video a thumbs up for the useful tips? Number 8. The date writing conundrum. So many visitors to the US get really confused by the month, day, year thing, because most parts of the world write the day, then the month, then finally the year.
Yeah.
There's no clear historical reason why the US insists on writing the day differently, but we just do. Number 7. Pre-baby baby showers.
What?
Many cultures celebrate a new baby coming into the world, but America is one of the few places that does this before the baby actually gets here. In East Asian countries, for instance, celebrations for a new baby are held once the baby is born, as doing otherwise is seen as bad luck. Number 6.
Almost like jinxing it, right?
Where "how are you" means hello. Sure, people ask each other how they're doing in other countries, but Americans often use this phrase as a replacement for hey or hello. It doesn't even require a real response. People just answer with "fine, thanks," even if they're in a horrible mood or had a terrible day. Number 5. Bathroom stalls that aren't so private. Don't like doing your business in front of complete strangers? Americans don't either, of course, but the fact that bathroom stall doors often reveal as much as your entire lower leg seems to say otherwise. There's no clear reason as to why there's this big gap.
Yeah, why is that? I mean, because just to add, say, what is that? Probably about a foot of extra wood onto a stall just seems like it wouldn't be that much of an inconvenience or financial cost. Maybe it's to do with the old, like the Wild West, because I remember those back in the Wild West films I've seen, the doors kind of like, you know, those little swivel doors, they're always quite short. Maybe it's related to that.
In public bathroom stalls here, but many guess it's for safety reasons or ventilation. Just saying. Number 4. No one uses their inside voice. A lot of my friends who are visiting or moved to the US tell me that locals speak so loud compared to other countries. Whether it's talking on your cell phone or chatting with a friend over lunch, Americans seem to really like projecting their voice. I don't know. Maybe we just want to make sure we're heard. Number 3. It's all about choices. Walk into any grocery store aisle and you'll notice at least 10 different options for cookies, crackers, or cereal. People in the UK don't have these many options for food.
It's true. It's true.
And you'll almost never find anything in grape flavor there. Number 2. Hopping into the back seat of a cab. When getting into a cab, it's customary in the States to scoot on into the back seat. But in countries like New Zealand and Australia, riding anywhere but shotgun can be a little rude. Number 1. that classic American smile. In the US, people aren't afraid to be nice and show their pearly whites all the time. And according to a 2015 study at Brown University, because America has always been a very diverse country, it forced people to smile at each other more since they couldn't always communicate with language. That's just one more historical theory as to why Americans tend to smile more than people in other places do. Or maybe we're just, friendlier. Whether you're from the US or not, can you add any more strange Americanisms to the list? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today,
Pretty cool
then
video.
give this video.
That was a fun one. Some of them were like, I guess you could understand why they make sense. Like for example, the smiling one, because America is made up of so many different types of people, and yes, there probably were language barriers back in the day. Just projecting that you were a friendly person and that you meant no harm was probably quite important. But the sales tax one, like how hard would it be just to, like let's say you're a clothing manufacturer, right? So you know that you're sending stock to these particular states. You must know what the sales tax in those states are. So why not calculate the sales tax, add that to the cost of the product and put that on the label? I feel like the sales tax one could easily be rectified, but maybe because people are used to it, maybe people are happy with it. Maybe that's why there's no pressure to change it. Just because I feel like, let me know in the comment section if you prefer it the way it is now, but wouldn't it be easier if you knew exactly how much products were going to cost you? Like, let me know if you prefer that or you prefer to keep the older way. But yeah, this one was a lot of fun. Thanks to whoever recommended it to me. I really enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.